We're on a wave, man. We are wash up on Washington. This is the Weekend Boost, and I'm your host, Paul Lane, the author of The Caregiver's Handbook, a self-help love story. I don't even have a copy with me because I sold it. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm so grateful to have you all on to be my guest today. A couple of quick shout outs. I want to make a shout out to my cousin BJ up in Oregon. Just got a hold of you after 6 years. So good to talk to you, BJ. Brittany, cousin Brittany, man, I hadn't talked to you in so many years too. It's so good to talk to you. I'm glad that you're joining us. Cousin Cindy and Pete also, thank you for joining us. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got a lot of things to cover, and one of the things I want to talk about is the hate that's next door that you don't even know. Guys, this is a book that you must have in your collection. The Hate Next Door was written by a police officer in Mesa, Arizona, a place you would never think the Klan could exist or white supremacist organizations would be. But this book will open your eyes to many things you never knew. Get this book because there's a lot of hate next door, and man, sometimes you don't know if you should open your door or not. Ever wonder how we got to where we are today? Have you ever really sat down and thought about how did I get here? This is a book that you must read. A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. This goes in extreme detail about many, many things that the United States CIA has done since 1947 that will blow your flippin' mind. I'm sorry, not since 1947, since the beginning of the United States. I was thinking about another book. This is worse. I'm telling you, this talks about from the slave trade all the way to modern day, and how many things the country has done to benefit itself and not you. Guys, I have a lot of guests come on the show, and some guests I like a lot and some guests I just love, and my guest today has just become a very dear friend to my wife Dee and me. And Barb Crowley came on the show the first time about 4.5 years ago, and we've had dinner many times before and lunch a few times, and we've shared wonderful laughs and memories, and I'm just so honored and pleased to have you back on the show today.
I'm so glad
Barb,
to be here.
come on in here just a little bit.
Oh, okay. I just love talking to Paul. I just love being here. And Dee, I'm sorry she didn't make it today.
Yeah.
But we have great conversations. We have a great time together, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Excellent. We got a lot of things to cover today. I made you some bizcochitos. This is probably a 400-year-old recipe.
Wow.
And I think this is probably the best batch I've ever made.
Oh my God, this is good. This will make my day.
And that is for you for later, and this is for us right now.
Oh, that's good.
I got up this morning and I made, I don't know, I've been on such a binge of cooking since Christmas.
You're nesting, or you nesting?
Yes, I am, man. I'm telling you, I've made chicken pot pie to lasagna
I love chicken pot pies.
Two cheesecakes, and I've made tortillas 5 times. I've made biscochitos twice. I've made candy twice.
I am coming over before you're over.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to have you over.
Yeah.
And these peanut butter cookies I made this morning, and this is my specialty. So you save those ones for later, and these are for snacking.
These,
I put a napkin here for you so you can.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
So Barb is a psychic, and Barb actually has her own radio show, Beyond the Veil?
Metaphysics, A View Through the Veil.
A View Through the Veil.
Yeah. Took me a minute to even think of it. It's early.
But I'm telling you, if you get a chance to look at A View Through the Veil, you will see some things that are so mind-blowing on so many topics of metaphysical, New Age, things that you'd never thought about, things you might scratch your head and say, wow, this makes sense.
Right. I had somebody on recently that showed things on Mars that were outlined but silk, and then things on the United States, and they're the same. And they're saying that Mars was populated before Earth, and I said the United States on Earth, that are the same and populated by Mars after we blew ourselves up on Mars. So let's hope Mars is not our future. But it was fascinating. He showed all the outlines, and then because of Google Earth, we can see every part of the Earth now, and he showed the same outlines here.
Wow.
There's some amazing things out there.
There's so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, we found 300 million year old hammers buried underground.
Right. And batteries.
Batteries. I mean, there's been a cell phone that was found or something that looks like a Nokia cell phone. There's so many discoveries made and being made. Ancient civilizations are being rebuilt. History as we know it is not history as it is.
No. I love your cookies. I just took a bite. Oh my God, delicious. Sorry y'all can't have any.
Oh, I want to make a shout out to Emilio. Thank you so much for this Christmas gift. I love it. I wear it everywhere I go. And thank you to the Segunda, the secondhand store, for this cool ass hat I'm wearing. So,
you're looking good, Paul.
Well, thank you. I'm telling you, I got up at the beginning of this year and I was pretty terrified. I made my first video about what's going on here last January 27th. I had a video I put on TikTok, had over 127,000 views.
Wow.
Now, of course, I'm being restricted by TikTok, and I did a very similar video to that, and I got 27 views. I ended up getting 200 views, but you can see a lot about who's running TikTok by how many views they're letting you have. Anyway.
How about YouTube?
I only have 2 more days on TikTok. I will be on TikTok till the 19th of January, and I'm out of here. You know, people say, how can you do that? You know, you already got a following, you've been doing this, you've worked so hard, you've made many videos. But you know what? Last January, when Meta came out with their new rules and their new guidelines,
right,
they included you give them the permission to take all of your data, all of it, your photos, all of your private messages, everything, and share it with foreign companies, countries, entities, or anyone else.
Anybody who wants it is what it comes down to.
You are for sale.
Yeah.
You are the product.
Unlike Europe, where you can opt out.
Yeah, you can't do that here.
I know.
And so I deleted Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. And I missed it, man. I'm telling you, it was tough because I had all my family and friends on there. I have my radio show had a Facebook page.
Yeah.
But I would not compromise myself. I would rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. I will not compromise myself.
Wow.
And when Larry Ellison takes over on this, and Oracle in a couple of days, there's going to be some changes going, and there's going to be a lot of surveillance. It's probably already taken place.
I think it's already there. I think sometimes I want to call up the hacker to ask him what my password is.
Yeah, man, no kidding, no kidding.
I know.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, there was a big fire in Denver. There was a great big apartment fire, and obviously it was arson.
Yeah.
And they were able to find that guy within 24 hours because of the surveillance that Peter Thiel and his boys have around town. They were able to get him walking out of the building, walking down the street, going into a coffee shop. I mean, he went, they had him an hour and a half before he even went in there on video.
Yeah.
Now, that is Big Brother, my friends.
It's been going on, though, Paul, for quite a while.
This is not new.
Yeah. My brother was on, in Jersey, he was on juries, grand juries, whatever. And he said they found everybody by their cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
He said that everybody was tracked by their cell phone. We're turning this on. We're doing it.
Yep, we're giving them permission.
Yeah. Well, coming up here, I was on GPS. And
they know exactly where you are right now.
They do.
They know when you go to the grocery store and how long you stay to look at what brand of peanut butter and what shelf it was on and what aisle.
And the thing is, by what you buy, they know a whole lot more about you. I think they know more about me than I
Than you do. Oh, that. Oh, yeah.
I know. But we are here. We are here.
Years back, there was a movie called Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman and Will Smith. And even back then, he said, if you get on the telephone and you say certain key words, and I'm not even going to repeat them on here, you are picked up automatically by the big boy in the sky. And that was 20 years, 30 years ago. I don't know, over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine how far advanced they are today. The Wi-Fi, what do they call it? A router can can detect any movement inside a house. In fact, I believe that their surveillance is so prominent and they want to push it so bad that they offered to give me a free router at Xfinity.
Really?
Yeah, about 8 months ago, and it's sitting in the box.
Yeah.
And then I keep getting emails. Your router's not going to work anymore. Your router's going to quit working next week, and it's still working. And as long as it works, I'm going to use it. And when it goes out, I'm going to go buy another one. I threw out my Google Home Assistant. I threw away my Alexis. Yeah. Because man,
but I hate to say it. I guess I'm a pessimist. I think that horse has left the barn. I think it's so prevalent out there. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Yeah. I mean, as I was saying before, Google Earth. I mean, you can go out into the middle of nowhere, and those satellites are picking up on you.
Yeah.
I think that horse has left the barn, unfortunately.
So what can we do? And we didn't intend this to be a political show, but we it's reality. We are who we are where we are. This is exactly.
Now I had on my podcast, I had an astrologer on the other day, and this astrologer, as I've been told by other astrologers, that there are 4 or 5 planets that have come together, that have only come together 4 other times or 3 other times in American history. They have come together at the American Revolution, the Civil War, World War II, and now.
Wow.
And there totally changes everything. Changes everything.
And these are not the first rare alignments. We've had 3 last year too.
Yeah, no, it's huge right now.
Oh.
Huge.
And so, take heart.
We're sounding a little pessimistic, aren't we?
Yeah, I started out this year terrified. But my resolve became, I don't want to call it rage because I'm not angry, but I'm a
little angry.
Okay, I'm pissed off as a mother. I am angry, but I'm not going to be intimidated. I don't, Emiliano Zapata said it is better to die on one's feet than to live on one's knees. And by all means, I don't want to die. I love this life, but I won't live on my knees.
Right.
There's speculation now going around that they want to imprison or deport 100 million people in America.
That's a third of America.
That's a third of the
That's insane.
Not going to happen.
It's just insane.
Not going to happen.
And you're deporting American citizens. At that point, which they're doing. They're doing right now. But they've turned the military on the American people against the Constitution. They call it a different name and think it's okay, but it's the same.
Yep.
And they've ripped up the Constitution completely.
Yeah.
So I listen to Washington, Hamilton, all that, to give me courage. Look what they did. Now I've got to be doing some of this stuff. Just hold it. Just holding, strong.
Yep. I did a TikTok video the other day, and I talked about resistance, and that it has many, many faces.
It does, yeah.
I started what was called, I kind of heard the term, and I adopted it, the Latino freeze. And that was the video I did last January. And what I said was, there has been a war declared on people with brown skin and brown eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, we have a big voice. We are the 5th largest economy, Hispanic, Chicano, Latino people, the 5th largest economy in the face of the earth.
Wow.
Right now. And I said, you know what? I withdrew from the economy. I have not been to a chain restaurant since last year. I haven't I don't go to any big box stores, including Target, Walmart. The only one I go to is Costco. I needed new phones in 2023. We didn't get them. My phone's, I don't even know how it's still alive. It holds a charge for about 20 minutes. But I canceled all pay TV. When all this big price increase came in last week?
Yeah, I did too.
Did you? Yeah.
I
didn't get
a jonesing on some of them.
Me too, man. All I have is Tubi, and Tubi's owned by Fox, but it's free.
Right.
But I tell you, and the B movies they put on Tubi are.
Yeah, I do Netflix.
But
I couldn't give it I'm up, unfortunately.
Yeah, getting rid of Netflix was a tough one. Amazon Prime was really tough, but I guess I'm maybe too principled, or just I'm principled.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the reality of it. The world is changing. Whether we're going to go with it or we're not, it is changing, and it's everywhere.
There is upheaval.
We are doing human nature is doing a leap ahead with technology that's coming out, and it's going to be good and bad, and it's going to be fast. But when you look back and you look at when cars came in,
Mm.
I mean, it was within 20 years there were horse and carriages to cars, and it was complete. It was pretty complete. So human nature does move ahead very, very quickly, and we're in that period.
I remember years back, and Katie Tur was on Good Morning America, and she was saying, "There's this thing that they have. I don't even know how to explain it. It's this they call it the internet."
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
that has, I mean, it's so deeply ingrained in us that we can't even go to school without it.
I know.
mean, we can't even find our way, from point A to point B without it.
And we know nobody's phone number.
I do remember a lot of phone numbers. I pride myself in that. But and now we have phones that can track you anywhere on the square, any square meter on the face of the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they know more again about me than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where I've been, what I've done. I went on that location thing to see where I've been.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked. I didn't even remember that much.
Wow, did I go there?
I know.
I wonder if I had a good time.
I was there for how long? And I know.
In terms of Google Maps, I deleted it from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Google Maps and I gave them a 1-star review. Mm-hmm. And it asked why, and I said, because you misspelled the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Did they put it in Gulf of America?
Yeah, it's on there. It's in Google Maps
really?
now. I don't know because I'm not on there anymore. But it was when I did do that.
Oh my God, it's so insane. It's just that, and that's the part that I'm most upset by: the chaos and the insanity, the barrage of it that is just taking us all down.
The blind loyalty.
Right.
I mean, I have a brother who's a Trump supporter and a sister who's a Trump supporter, and I just think to myself, well, my brother was raised by the same dad, but in another city, and they were privileged. My brother doesn't understand what it is to want, because his daddy was there to take care of him, and when it came for him to get a job, he got a job at daddy's company, and he retired from daddy's company, and he got a great retirement from daddy's company. So he doesn't have compassion or empathy to understand what it's like to be the bastard son of the man your father created. I want to say this too. I've said it before on the show. My great grandfather was a Mexican citizen. He grew up and lived and for 4 generations before that lived in the same town of Plaza de Leones, Mexico. Mm-hmm. In 1876, the name of that town was changed to Walsenburg, Colorado.
Wow.
My grandfather was a first-generation American who was born on the exact same plot of land his father was born on. So when I make a stand because they've taken our land from us, and this is a land grab. Not only is it ethnic cleansing, this is land grab.
Right.
They're leaving people's homes empty. They're leaving their cars. They're leaving their dogs in the cars. They're not even picking up or telling the children where they are. This is authoritarianism. Yeah. And you know what? To not speak out of this is a bigger sin than to speak out. And I mean, how could you not?
I heard, and I love this, I heard a Hispanic person say, I didn't cross the border. The border crossed me.
That's exactly what I was implying.
The border crossed me, and that was so true. That's what you're saying.
That's my family. That's my culture.
I did not cross the border.
11/11.
The border crossed me. Oh yeah. I have to bring some humor in it. I talked to Paul yesterday. I said, let's not talk politics. Here we are.
Me, I start out every show with a book or, a thought, and so it drifted off in that.
But I have to say, with the Trumpsters, I can't understand it. They believe as deeply as I believe on what I believe.
Except you have reason.
But they have reason. In their minds, they have reason too. Mm-hmm. They believe as completely as I believe, but we believe different things.
But
I think it's a me and we. But I honestly, I can't understand most of what they believe. I just can't understand it.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Critical thinking. I talk about critical thinking, and I've said it before. It's not a religion thing. It's not a politics thing. It's a morality thing.
It is, yeah.
I don't care if you're black, white, brown.
Yeah, it's a me and we. Yes. I'm a community.
Yes.
And they're, about me. That's what I think.
It is by design. This is not a mistake that this is happening like this. This is has been perpetrated so that we can create a division, so that because we are weaker when we're divided, and when we stop looking at this as a left and right issue and realize that it's a top and bottom issue, when we realize that every time Donald Trump makes a decision, it is to put money in his pocket.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
If you look at Venezuela,
is about Trump and has
Trump and about Trump.
But the thing is anybody who heard anything different. I mean, do you not look at his history? Do you not look what he says? Do you not look who he is?
With so many indiscretions. You know, for 4 years it was scandal of the day. That's what I call that 4-year period.
It's now, but
it's multiplied.
They don't call it a scandal anymore. We're so used to this craziness.
Of the president flipping somebody off.
Right.
Of the president calling a reporter a pig. Of the reporter telling someone of the president telling a reporter you're stupid, or you're fake, or you're...
Yeah, or making fun of handicapped people.
And they say, that's what I think. I'm really proud of him. And it's like, come on, guys, can you really be proud of that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Can you really pick up your head and say, this is wonderful? I don't care if you're black or white or brown or what color you are. If you see children being separated from their families, and you can't distinguish that between right and wrong, then you have a very skewed perspective on things the way they are.
And this last, the shooting of the woman in Minneapolis.
Renee Good.
Has it gotten home to everybody yet that they are, with impunity, going to shoot American citizens?
So they backed us up against the Second Amendment.
Right.
There's 500 million guns in America.
Which is good.
They're not only owned by one party, guys. Veterans came from both parties. Nobody wants any violence. That's not what anybody wants, especially me. But if you get out of the car, they're going to shoot you. If you stay in the car, you're going to shoot you. I've seen video after video of them pulling women out of cars, people breaking the window, choking men who are holding babies. We've seen them shoot a Venezuelan boy in the legs. We've seen them shoot a woman in the face. The list goes on and on and on.
They just tear-gassed 6 kids in a car.
A 6-month-old child stopped breathing. Right. And now they're finding out that was not CS gas. That was not chemical shield gas. That was hexachlorothane.
I don't know the difference.
Hexachlorothane is a nerve gas.
Oh,
it's a weapon of war.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like they're doing what they're doing in Palestine. They're doing weapons testing on us.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, man, there's nothing worse than fox urine in a squirt gun. Woo-hoo! Someone shooting pepper spray at you, or someone shooting paintballs at you. Fox urine or deer urine in a squirt gun. Man, I'm telling you.
You know what I just heard that I thought was such a good idea?
Yeah.
You know the wasp spray?
Oh.
You know how that shoots way far out?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody said that. You know, they were saying it kind of me for something in your house as for safety.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, what a great idea, because you don't have to be close to somebody.
Yeah.
You can aim it, you know, and it expands.
And it's a chemical shield too.
It is. It's a killer.
Yeah.
It's a killer. Yeah.
If you
we got it. We got to pick ourselves up here. That I'm depressing myself.
Hey, you know, here's why I have hope, because this administration is falling. ICE is falling. We think, you know, they're all the media and all of the powers that be are making it look to you like something really bad is happening. But the truth of the matter is that they can't find anybody to come to work. They can't find anybody there. I mean, they're begging people, come, you know, get the bad guys. You know what? When you're wearing a mask so you don't want to show your face, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So,
but the truth is, and I've got a bunch of people in my family who are Trumpsters too. We do have a lot in common. I think most Trumpsters do not want what's going on in the streets. They don't want masked people coming in shooting people with impunity. We have a lot in common, really.
That's so interesting, and that's why it's so important for us to understand that it really, and we have to understand that when somebody opens their eyes and says, man, I made some bad choices, that we don't just screw them over and say, hey, get the hell away from me. I've been there, guys. But now is the time that we need to, I'm not saying we need to embrace him and trust him, but you know, we definitely need more people on our side than against us.
Right, but we need the common ground too.
Yeah.
I truly believe there's a lot of common ground here. There's a lot
you're right,
of
Barb.
decency.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and we need to be in that common ground because I, you know, I'm related to, and I know a lot of Trumpsters who are watching what we're watching and do not want this America.
Well, the thing is that they're watching a different media than us mostly.
Yeah, they do not want this America. People getting shot in the streets in broad daylight for no reason.
But they do want them picked off and taken out of here, whether they're legal or not. I mean, they do. I've talked to enough of them that I would say the majority do.
Well, they think they're illegal. They don't understand the immigration system, and
exactly, and how it's so skewed against.
Yeah. Well, not only that, most of the people are really legal. They're
picking people up at job sites, man.
Yeah, green cards, you know.
Yeah, visas. They're meeting.
Process,
they have been meeting with immigration for years. Some of them. Some of them they're arresting them at their hearings or at their check-in.
Yeah. So these people are coming in as refugees. We have laws that say they have a right to come in. So they're coming in legally, really, as refugees. But then they have to sign up. And they have to go to court to prove they really are a refugee. And the court says, you know, you are or you're not really. You know, and if you're not really, you have to leave. Yeah. Our courts are so backed up that they can't get to that step. So they come in and they sign up for the court date, and they can't get to this step of the court date. This is
and so it's a catch-22.
This is our mistake. This is our problem, that we haven't taken a whole bunch of legal students and sent them down there and said, process this quickly.
And
you
that
know,
too
how
is
are
by
we not doing this?
Yeah, because that way they can blame the system and they can make it harder. They can, you know, I personally see this militarization of the police, this expansion of ICE, all as one step towards something really bad that could happen if we don't stop it.
I think it's an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I think apartheid, you know, when you see militarized checkpoints, border crossings, that is reminiscent of another very, very bad country.
And when you see occupation of a city and a state, that's an occupation.
Especially when they're masked, armed, masked people.
Right, I know.
One more thing and then we're going to move on. Guys, there's something that I have to share with you. This is really important. Go to the hardware store, not Home Depot. Go buy 3-inch wood screws, 3-inch long wood screws. Get home, get your drill out, go to your door jamb and take out all of the screws. Take out all of the 1-inch screws and replace them with 3-inch long screws. Screw them all in. Take all your hinges out one at a time, put a long screw in. It's really hard to kick a door in with 3-inch screws.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's going to protect you against burglars. It's going to protect you against anyone else. But I'm telling you, I did this, and I sleep very well at night.
I got security doors. I got iron.
You got the iron. Yeah. I mean, really, if you're just in a residential home, that's where you got to consider taking care of yourself and preparing for the worst. And nobody wants this. Nobody wants this, but just
I want to do a shout out to all Americans. Let's get to the middle ground. There is a large middle ground.
Yes, there is.
That all of us are forgetting about. We're just backing up on the extreme. But let's get to the large middle ground that we all agree on. And we all want a country that we can be proud of, that we can feel safe in, that we can enjoy each other, even if we have different opinions, that we can have a conversation. We want this, and honestly, it's there. We just have to find our way back to it. And we have to do it without all these fear mongers, and the media and the government are the ones that are poisoning us against each other.
It's manipulation.
So we have to find that middle ground so we can come together and decide the country that we want. Not that they want.
Very true.
So, okay.
So, guys, if you're just joining us, we've been having just a rant. We're venting over here.
We're ranting. We're ranting.
This is KUHS The Stream, and this is the Weekend Boost. I'm your host, Paul Lane, and today I'm talking to psychic medium Barb Crowley. Also a dear friend of my wife and mine, and So I got to tell you a story.
Okay.
Last weekend, my wife and I went to the Mind, Body, and Spirit show down in Centennial, Aurora. I don't know where it was. It was the Arapahoe County Fairgrounds. Big, faraway place. But we went there and we had a great time. We walked up and down every aisle, and I was looking for new guests for upcoming guests for the show.
Yeah.
And I came across a young woman, and they had psychedelic mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Hey, I got a micro dose, and just as a free gift, I said, "Well, sure." So she gave me a little spoon, and it was really good. It was on candy, and so I ate it up, and I didn't feel a thing. She told me I wouldn't. I slept great. I never felt any kind of jittyness.
Right.
I felt very normal. I never felt it. But the thing about microdosing is, it's medicine. It's not to get high, and two, it's a very subtle changes that take place in you. Some of them you may not even recognize, but there's everything happening from neurological reconnections all the way to observation, realization, spiritual awakenings, many levels on just a little tiny dose.
Yeah,
but then she said, look at this. This is some cool stuff. These are some samples we're giving out. There's 3 different types of mushrooms, and you get your choice, And I said, well, what's the difference? And she said, well, this one's okay. This one's pretty good. This one's really good. Well,
I know
that's
which
one I
you
chose. So it was a little baggie, and I took it home, and all week I sat on it. And Thursday I said, I'm going, I'm just going to have some, And so I decided it was 2 little candy bars. They were, about as big as one of these cookies.
Yeah.
And so I took it, and I had the most wonderful, eye-opening, revelatory, healing experience I've had ever had taking medicinal mushrooms. And I'm telling you, and for those of you who think I went off the deep end and became a drug addict, not so.
This is well, I have to say, I've done mushrooms. I've done them recreationally, and I've done them medicinally. And medicinally, I did the hero's journey.
Yeah,
which is a
on your radio
5 gram.
show.
Yeah, on the radio show.
And that a hero's is 5 grams.
5 grams.
Yeah.
5 grams.
They do that. Is that also called the ego death?
I don't know.
Well, but there's a hero, and that might be above the.
I don't see how you could go. But it is, and this is something too that I'm looking at that I think is part of our future. I think people are going to start taking and getting the ability to take control of themselves.
Absolutely.
Like the medicine. I think we're going to be able to start talking to each other in ways.
Even telepathically.
Right. Well, yeah. The veil's getting much thinner.
Oh, man.
So, we're able to do this. I think we're going into the next vibration that's bringing us back to us as individuals, but also as
collective.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle talked a lot about this in his New Earth book, and it's almost like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll get this. I'll wake up and I'll be like, wow, I seem more aware than I was when I went to bed. Or I feel more enlightened.
That wasn't the day after the mushrooms.
No, these are just normal days.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Barb, I enjoyed my experience so much, and I gained, like I said.
And they are medicinal, very much so.
Man, I'm telling you, I was spoken to by ancestors. And since I started growing my hair, things have changed in the way I live, and the way I think, and the way I perceive, and the way I feel.
Right.
And it was revealed to me that this is not just long hair. This is medicine.
Yeah.
And
this is going back to roots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my ancestors they came to me. I heard voices. I heard spiritual voices telling me that I'm okay, that I'm on track, and that I have a purpose. Right. And you know what? I even spoke the words out loud. They've let me live a long time for a reason. And that was like, who said that?
Right. Somebody said, again, on the radio show, if you're still here, your job's not done.
I love that. Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I've seen so many people have a close call with death, and they say, I must have a purpose. And then they go on living their life as if nothing happened.
Well, yeah, but internally they might have changed
Yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah, I have seen people change
Yeah.
their whole outlook,
Yeah.
you know, their whole demeanor. They were real jerks, and all of a sudden they're like, wow,
Oh my
hey, let me
gosh,
open
yeah.
the door for you.
Yeah,
you know, oh,
yeah,
not
I'm
you.
seeing a bigger purpose here, a
Yeah.
bigger connection is really
Yes.
it. That we're not so individual, we really are connected.
Which is all
Yeah.
connected to enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
Enlightenment is such a wonderful thing. You know, I don't mind, you don't mind if we bounce around. I want to talk a little bit about death.
That if we bounce around, we're always all over the place. This is why I enjoy it so much. I'm on the train here.
You want to see when we have dinner? It's terrible.
Yeah, I know. Food's getting cold and we can't shut up.
Dr. Michael Newton wrote this book, A Journey of Souls.
Mm-hmm.
A Journey of Souls, not A Journey of Souls, but Journey of Souls. If you, and I talk about this book a lot on the show, but man, I'm telling you, get this book. So this week I was talking to someone who lost a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her son.
Right.
And it was my cousin. And I told her, he's not dead. He's not really dead.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And she said, well, yeah, you know, she didn't say it, but she's like, I could hear her wheels turning. Yeah, I saw him in the coffin. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't understand. And I started talking to her about some things that I've read over the years. I talked about this book. I talked about another one called Final Gifts. It was written by a hospice nurse.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah.
And it tells a story of this Chinese woman, and she was on her deathbed. And her husband had died, and she was seeing her daughter, and she said, why is my sister here? And her daughter said, what? She said, my sister's in China. Why is she here? Why do I see her? Yeah. And her heart sank because her sister had died that morning.
Oh, wow.
How could she on her deathbed know that her sister on the other side of the earth had died?
Yeah.
You know, I used to be so afraid of death because I was so afraid of getting judged. I was so afraid, oh man, what if I go to hell?
Yeah, I can think of every bad thing I ever did and they're bad.
Oh yeah, man, it's like, oh God, I don't have a chance. Like Trump says, I don't have a chance. Well, he doesn't have a chance. But, sorry, back on track. But the thing about it is, after reading Michael Newton's book, and 29 case studies of people from all different walks of life, from Christian ministers to Buddhists to atheists to Jehovah's Witnesses and everything in between. Yeah. And every one of them came back and said, I had a different life. I was a different person. Mm-hmm. I was a woman. I was a man.
We've tried everything. But as you know, I'm a medium.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of people have come in lately. It's beginning of the year. We've just gone through the holidays. And people kind of transit during the holidays when everybody's together, you know. And so I've done a lot of mediumship within the last week. A lot of it's going on. And as I have said to some of the people I work with, that the only way I can tell if somebody's alive or dead is how happy they are.
Wow.
If they're very happy, they're dead.
Wow.
Because and I always have I have to apologize to someone sitting in front of me who is so grieving and heartbroken, and then have to say, they're having a great time over there.
Yeah. I mean, they're
great and having a great time over there. Yeah.
You know, and in fact, it's so beautiful that they can see you grieving here, but that grief doesn't pull them down. I mean, they see it and it's objective, like, oh wow, man, you know. There's
a almost like a blanket of emotion that drops off of them. They can understand emotion because they've been here. It's almost like a memory, but it's emotion is here and it's in the body. We come here for the experience of emotion. That's what Earth is. When we leave here, emotion falls away, as does judgment. Judgment falls away too.
Oh, yeah.
All of that, you can see the big picture, you can understand it all. But that intensity of emotion falls away. And that the grieving, which is the worst feeling, a hard feeling, grieving, is here. It's not on the other side.
No,
and they can see us,
and
we have cut off that information to see them, so that we can have a true emotional experience here. If we could see the other side, nobody would make it past 5. Mm-hmm. Everybody'd say, oh, I'm not staying here.
So many people have NDEs and near-death experiences, and they say, I don't want to go back, I don't want to go back.
Right, yeah, and then they do come back.
Yeah, and you know, that is so, and again, it's not for me because fear is not, I remember the words in the Bible that say, oh, death, where is your sting? And, you know, when my wife was dying of cancer, my first wife, I was 7 months in the hospice center, 2 people die in a day.
Right.
Twice a day, sometimes only once because it was an L-shaped wing. And the door would close, and there would be a gurney, you know, in a body bag go by. And or I'd go out to lunch and I'd see a morgue, you know, coming up and pulling in, taking another body. And I became so
immune,
engulfed in immersed in the death that death almost was a comfort. Death was like a freedom. It was like a breaking of the chains. Yeah.
My mother died at 91.
Wow.
And when somebody else would die, we'd say, well, that lucky bastard. Because, you know, we're all going there. It's going to happen to us all. And it's like, wow, you got out. Yeah. She also lived in a, you know, one of those multi-level places, you know. And she used to say, they don't send ambulances in, or, you know, because so many people would die there, you know, it was, she said they're taking them out by UPS. So nobody knows.
You know, gaining that perspective really, really can soften grief too. You know, I wrote a book about, you know, losing your spouse to cancer, and the grief that I experienced was, you know, I mean, I did a lot of research on grief, you know, as I was writing the book and even after the book was completed. And, you know, seeing and understanding that our loved ones, you know, I mean, so many times you see mediums who have communications and they give you messages that no one else could possibly know.
Right.
And it's like, okay, explain this, you know. And I try to share that with people and understand that, yeah, you are going to see them again. And yes, they are fine. And you know what? That cancer is no longer eating them up alive.
Oh, no.
You know?
And they feel great. They're happy as could be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And whenever I work as a medium, and it's their job on the other side, they have to give me something that person sitting in front of me knows. That, you know, I don't know. Most of the time, they don't make sense.
Yeah.
But that we know we have the right person, because I will not allow any other spirits floating around to be in our reading here, you know. And they come through with the wildest stuff, you know. They'll come through with a ring or with a bracelet or roses.
Or a tattoo.
Yeah, something like this, which I don't understand. Why do they keep showing me a ring? And people say to me, I don't know, he didn't wear a ring, I don't know. And then a little bit later they'll say to me, well, my son's wearing his high school football ring. Well, duh.
Whoa, yeah.
You know, that's what he's showing me. Yes. Yeah, the ring, you know. But yeah, for that connection, they want that connection, but they can see us. We have just lost that that ability to see
connection.
them.
That's end of the.
And then for everybody who's grieving, I always want to tell people who are grieving, grief is like a heavy fog around you, and they are trying to get through. And it's like shouting in a fog. The voice just gets lost, you know. Now, there's nothing you can do about this. You can't make the grief go away, none of it. But you will get messages from weird people, from like the grocery store clerk on your way. You know, you've been checking out of this grocery store for 50 years here, and never really talked that much to the people there, but you recognize them. And one day you're checking out and they say, I dreamed of your husband last night. And he looked great. Well, your husband knows that they can get through to that grocery store because there's no grief around them. And they will tell you. So that is for you. And you will, as the grief dissipates, you will start to hear them. But I know people who've been heartbroken. Why are they talking to him and not to me? Why am I not getting dreams? Why am I? Because the grief is so intense. But you can't do anything about this. But understand, they will come through from different ways. And then eventually they'll come through to you in your dreams, or you'll see them at the corner of your eye, or you'll hear them. A lot of times you'll hear them. But they come into your home, they're there, they're just, it's just hard to get through. And some of them have to practice. Some of them have to practice. So I always want to tell grieving people, this is why you're not hearing, and then other people are saying to you, I had a dream, and people are upset and mad. Well, how come? You're
why
getting
you,
dreams
not me?
And yeah, and that's why. That's why. The information's for you, but this is a way for them to get through to you.
When I have someone, a loved one who loses a loved one, I always tell them, you know what, I always hope that the best memories are way more powerful than the grief that you have.
Right.
And please, when you smile, remember the laughter that you had with your mom and with your.
And that you'd usually end up with those memories.
Yes.
But the grief period, you go through the anger, you go through the shock,
the denial,
and
then, the whole bargaining.
And then that it's grief when it really hits at its rawest point. It's physical. It is so painful.
Guttural.
It's physical. Yeah, yeah. Grief is a tough thing to go through, and we all have to go through it at one point. And grief never goes away. It goes dormant. But the next thing, it'll all come back up.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I know.
I'm telling you, my mom's been dead 15 years, and there's days when it just hits me, and I'm just, I just want to call my mom.
Right. I know. It's tough. But they're there.
Yeah.
They come in, they have coffee with you, they hang around in your house, because there is no separation from their side. But we have chosen to come here and have that separation. So, and that's why we're having such a hard time, but they are there.
Yeah. And the other thing about time on the other side is very, very,
there is no
it's
time.
not relevant like it is here. It's not linear like it is here.
Yeah.
Talk about multiple timelines, simultaneous timelines taking place at once. Like, I am living in my childhood, I'm living on my deathbed, and I'm living every minute in between right now.
I know. And that's why you're exhausted. No.
And I'm hungry.
The one that fascinates me, and I can't get many people to talk about, parallel lives.
Oh,
that
man, I'm telling you, that is...
am I in the good life or the bad life?
Yeah. Or you have a close call and you think, did I die? Am I really here? And, I've thought that to myself.
Yeah. Well, it's there. We have come into this life to experience, as I said, emotion, and to do that, we had to cut off all information and separation and all of it, and then we've isolated ourselves here. As I said, would all be gone if we knew. But there is no time on the other side.
Yeah,
there is no separation at all. We are individual. I say we're a drop and the ocean.
Yes.
We're both.
If you picked up a cup from the ocean, this would be the universe, and this would be the universe.
Right.
This would be the universe too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're individual and part of the whole. And it's just because we've separated, our brain can't conceive of it.
Right.
When I look at the other side, I can only go so far because I'm in human form. But so time, psychics and time suck. People say, when's that going to happen? Well, let me give a disclaimer first. Psychics and time suck. I'll try, but yeah, it's tough. But it is a completely different world, a completely different. We're the anomaly. We're the outsiders.
Yeah.
It really and there are universes and dimensions that go on forever.
Yes.
And we are not. We are not ground zero. We are not the center.
So, the Earth does the sun doesn't revolve around us.
I know.
We're a speck on your fingernail, man. I'm telling you.
I know. We are just one part. And this, most people have heard of vibrational change. That we're going through a vibrational change. This vibrational change is not only here; it's through all of the universes.
It is happening right now in all of the universes.
And all of the universes are changing vibrationally, are moving up, really. You know, I'll call it moving up. But all of the universes. And I think coronavirus was part of that. And again, we got the blowback. We got the blowback because we are not the center. You know, there is a different center. Yeah. And it was a blowback to us like a sandstorm. So,
yeah, sometimes I'll sit back and I'll look at my wife and I'll just say, we survived the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
We survived the pandemic.
Right,
man.
right. Yeah, and hopefully that was the only pandemic.
Yeah, hopefully.
I know. But yeah, we're in pretty, you know, what was that saying? May you live in interesting times. Now man. I'm like, I don't want to live in interesting times. Did I
agree to this?
Yeah, and we did.
yeah. You know, we talk about contracts, soul contracts, and so many things that we've decided before we wanted to come here. I want to come at a very trying time.
We have whole plans. Yeah.
And so this very day was in a way predestined, but we understood. It may not have been exactly predestined, but we knew that these things were going to happen in our lifetimes, in our existence.
We chose to. Here's my belief system, right? Before we come in, we build our own body. You know, where people think, well, God gave me this body. Nah, you didn't. We build our own body for the experience we want to have. And we decide where we're going to be born and who we're going to be birthed to. All for the experiences that we want to have in this lifetime that we pre-planned.
Wow.
But then we give ourselves a personality. And that personality, we will see life through that personality our whole lives. So this is why sometimes there are Trumpsters and there are libs or whatever you want to call the non-Trumpsters, and how we're seeing things differently through our personalities. And we chose this coming in before we came in. So, you know, I can't come in and I'm never going to be a Norwegian model because I'm 5'1". You know, I mean, I chose a body that can never be that because I wasn't going to have that experience. But a Norwegian model came in and built her body for that experience. So it's not technically predestined, but it is, we've got a roadmap. And then we've got the personality or the software, what I call the software. So body's the hardware, the personality's the software of how we're going to perceive life. You know, and we will see life through our personality. And I would love to say that people change, but not really. Not really. So that's my belief system, and that's what I've seen psychically on the other side. And we have a team, you know, and people talk about their guides and all that. That's our team before we come in. But we are the point person. So our team could be sitting around and we could say, I'm coming in and I'm doing this, this, and this. And they say, not a good idea. You know? And they can say stupid as many times as they want to say it. But if we choose to do it, they'll get in line behind us to support it. Yeah. Saying stupid the whole way out.
And you know what's wonderful, after getting to understand that I have a spirit guide, and when I do that stupid act, my spirit guide's never saying, dumbass.
Right.
He's saying, come on, let's get up.
They will never step in front of you. God will not step into your plans. You know, these are your choices.
What people call free will.
Right. You have free will before you get here. I don't know how much you have it here. Because again, you're looking through the eyes of your personality, of your body, of where you were born, who you were born to. You know, were you born poor, were you born rich? You know, I mean, there's so many things that go into how your life will be and how you will see your life. You know, I mean, even people who are born poor and later become rich never lose that poor thing. They always have that in them. Not just that they're afraid, but they know what it is like.
People who live through the Depression is a great example.
Right.
They are hoarders. They tend to be hoarders. They collect things, and it's like, oh, I might need this, you know.
Right.
There's a little bit of that in me. Oh my gosh, I don't know. You know, and I'm way past the Depression, but there's times when you go through life and you don't know what your needs are going to be, but you want to be prepared for whatever
right.
it is, you know.
I call that, people come in, some people come in and they trust life, and some people come in and do not trust life, and they're fear-based. I'm fear-based. And what you're telling me, you're fear-based. We really don't have a trust of life. And it's from past lives, from this life, you know. We really don't trust life. And don't have that trust, but again, that's part of our plan, you know.
Piece of that cookie.
Yeah, I know, that cookie's delicious. It's yelling at me too.
Purpose. You know, so many people go through life, and even on their dying deathbed, they don't know what their purpose was. And I know that there's people out there who want to know, what is my purpose? Why am I here?
Right.
And what kind of advice do you have for that person?
I don't know my purpose. I say to people, I'm on the train, I'm not driving. I'm watching the scenery. I don't know my purpose really in life.
I think you're doing a very good job right now.
Well, good. But you know, I go along because and this is what I've watched with people on the other side, when you die, you immediately turn around and look at your life. Not in a judgment way, but in a larger concept of, okay, did I do what I wanted to do? You know, did I, and that's the only time you can get stuck. And I've had to unstuck some people, some spirits. Because if you turn around and you judge it negatively, you can get stuck because you've judged yourself. You know. But you're turning around to look at your life and see it in the bigger concept of, did I achieve what I came here to do? And some people came here to be total assholes.
That's their purpose in life.
Experience what it's like,
And you know, I think about that, and if that was as a result of something they did in another past life, that they're coming back to get that. Call it karma, call it call it understanding that you are one. The collective is one, and when you throw rocks at someone, you're going to feel rocks thrown at you.
Right. But most of the time, when we send out negative energy, it's in agreement with some of the people who are getting that negative energy. And that's where, when you turn around and say, oh my God, I was a total asshole, and you don't see the bigger picture, you can get stuck there. And then then I have to call in other spirits to get you unstuck. So all of this can merge into the collective consciousness of that experience. Because, so now I'm giving you my whole, because when, let's say, total asshole, right? When the next time you come in and you're a very kind person because you wanted to see what's it like to be the other person, you know, and then you meet a total asshole. Well, at your core, you understand them because you have been them. You know, you understand them, and you can allow them to be themselves and to have the experience they have chosen to have in this lifetime. That complete acceptance, that is unconditional love. That complete acceptance of the person and their choice of experience, and letting them have it. And it not impacting you. It has nothing to do with you.
Wow.
You know, you're not trying to fix them, you're not trying to save them, you're allowing them to be. And that is complete acceptance. And complete acceptance to me is unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
That's what that is, you know.
How does gratitude fit into all this?
Gratitude fits in because it makes it makes life easier for us. You know, we're looking at the better side than the worse side. That's one way of doing it. Because negativity, we can get caught in a spiral of negativity, and it'll pull us out. So gratitude is, I'm choosing to look at the better. It's like laughter will raise energy. Gratitude will raise energy. And we want to raise that energy. Anybody who's gotten into a negative mind spiral knows how heavy that feels.
And how easy it is to just go down.
Go down that rabbit hole. You know, so gratitude pulls you out of that rabbit hole, brings you back into the light, and it helps you there. I often say to people, not only gratitude. What I like better is at the end of the day, congratulate yourself for what you did well.
Victory,
yeah,
victory.
Yeah.
I love doing that, man. I'm telling you.
Right.
I learned about victory lists many, many years ago, and I never did a real written victory list, but I've always, you know, at the end of the day, we would sit and talk about our gratitude, and then, oh man, I'm so proud of myself. I did this, you know, I did this, I was able to get that. I didn't get mad when I should, you know, when I normally would have, or whatever.
Yeah, and my wins. You know, look at my wins, because the next day you'll have more wins.
Yeah.
Because this is what your focus is on. This is what they've done studies on kindness. If you do a kindness to someone, that person will then do a kindness to somebody else,
effect.
and it goes all the way out.
Oh.
The kindness to yourself at the end of the day is saying, look what I did well. It's the same kind of thing. The next day you will do more things well. You know, so I like that better than gratitude. Gratitude sometimes feels to me like, you know, almost like it's outside yourself. Thank you for letting me have this.
Yeah, and it's almost like you don't have the ability to get it your own self. That it was just
you're passive. You're a wild.
It was just serendipitous events. It wasn't because I'm good. It wasn't because I'm, you know, I'm wonderful. Because you do have to say, I'm great, I'm good, I'm wonderful, I'm a nice guy.
Right. And when you love yourself, when you're enjoying yourself, especially enjoying yourself, you're gonna. Everybody in your world is gonna feel good too. So and it could be somebody in a grocery store. You know, they can feel your aura. And if that aura is congratulating yourself, they're going to feel good about it too.
Have you heard of the Wonder Woman pose?
Oh yeah.
My daughter showed me that years ago, and you stand there with your hands on your hips, you know, and it raises your hormone levels in your body, positive hormones, and it's very, very helpful when especially when you're feeling down, or when you're feeling defeated, or when you're getting ready to go into something that you have to face, but. It really does.
For fear.
For fear. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You know, it's like you're nothing can cross that barrier.
Yeah.
You're the Wonder Woman. You're the Wonder Man.
And fear is in the body. It's wired into our body to keep us alive.
Yes.
Fear, it has no fear at all.
Yes.
So, you know, it's human. I mean, this is one of the emotions we came to experience. It is human. But it's in the body. And that's why to keep us here. Again, otherwise we'd all be like, I'm gone, I'm out of here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Life is great. Life really is great. We're about at the end of the show. Guys, get out a pencil. I need you to write down this number, please. Area code 202-224-3121. That is the House Ways and Means Committee. Call this number, 202-224-3121. Call your representative and tell them that you do not want ICE taking control and abusing our citizens. Tell them you want something done to stop this criminal president from doing the things he's doing, not just here but abroad. Tell him that you're sick and tired of people being killed in the streets by ICE agents. Guys, it's such a pleasure to have you. It's such an honor. We got a good 4,700 people watching.
Hey, can I put out a shout out for myself?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, listen to me at Metaphysics of View Through the Veil, or viewthroughtheveil.com. You can get hold of me. I want to put a shout out too to For Heaven's Sake, a metaphysical store here in Denver, 2 locations, and you can come see me there on Wednesdays and Saturdays, or through my website of viewthroughtheveil.com, and listen to me, Metaphysics of View Through the Veil. We talk about all of these, and I have guests on my show that expand my consciousness, so it's fabulous.
Oh yeah.
It's fabulous.
I met you at the For Heaven's Sake. That's where we met.
We did, and you came in, and we almost recognized each other.
It was
like,
weird.
Yeah.
I tell people that story all the time. Are you a psychic? Yeah. Is your name Barb? Yeah. That was the funniest thing.
I know.
Guys, I'm so grateful to have you on the show. We got in a couple of weeks. You know, I talk about Calma every week, Colorado Alliance for Latino Mentors and Authors. I am going to have Frank Davila, the new president of Calma, on the show. And as a guest, he's bringing Ricardo Laforêt, 2 of my heroes. They're going to be coming and talking about Kalma and about mentoring and leadership with people in the community. And guys, tune in 2 weeks. We'll be back. I love having you, man. I'm so grateful. Thank you for joining us. This is KUHS The Stream, and this is the Weekend Boost. I am Paul Lane, and today my guest and my friend Barb Crowley was with us. Guys, everybody is looking for a hero. If you can't find one, then you got a responsibility to be one. Be a hero. The world's waiting for you. The universe awaits. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Henry came and turned the volume up for me. Rough.
Why?
Because I had